Welcome back to our YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to show you how to pour and finish a public sidewalk area that we poured around these vaults that you see right here. Please stay tuned and continue watching until the end because we're going to show you the entire process of how we did all of this. If you want to learn how to set forms and pour all kinds of concrete work with the proper finishing techniques, then you're in the best place here on YouTube, since that's all we do here at Eternal Rock Construction. Consider subscribing to our YouTube channel and activate the notification bell so that way you don't miss out on any future videos that we're going to be uploading. I'm sad to say that this is one of the last videos that we're going to be uploading this year, and this is due to the holiday season. We're actually going to be taking off the next couple weeks. We usually close our company the last week of the year and also the first week of the new year. So it was great to make all these videos, and we really appreciate you connecting and watching all of our content. We hope that all of this has been helpful and that you've been able to learn some things. Please submit a comment or like and share this video, so that way it will help to support our channel and also so we can continue to make more videos in the upcoming year. This area that we're pouring today is an approximate 22 feet long by 10 foot wide public sidewalk that we had to remove and replace. The reason is because that vaulted area that you see there in the center, it was a little bit higher than the previous sidewalk level, which was causing a concern and a tripping hazard for these property owners. This is like a pretty large apartment complex for low-income housing, and there's a lot of traffic that goes through this area. So they had to put like a little ramp so it lessens the tripping hazard, but ultimately it wasn't good enough. So that's why they hired us to remove all this area, and so the new sidewalk can be flush with the vault. Like you saw previously, which I'll show you right now, we doweled and put rebar into the four sides of the vault, and this is so that way the new concrete will have a lot better attachment with the vault. So that's something we recommend if you ever have something like this ever happen to you, where the concrete sank or a porch sank or whatever situation. If possible, we recommend for you to dowel rebar into the foundation or into the vault or even into the existing driveway or sidewalk, and then just attach rebar so that way this concrete will not sink ever again, and it's going to be a more permanent long-term solution. And right here, we're starting to open up the joints. We're using those joiner tools right there. We marked them previously by running string line, like you see right here. We just run it from one end to the other, and then we just snap the line so it gives us the reference line. And from there, we just start putting in our joint tool, and we just glide it through that area so it will give us a nice and straight joint. And then from here, we're just using a magnesium float. We're using a couple different tools to even out the surface. We have the hand floats right there, and also the trowel tools, and then the magnesium floats. Between all of these, we're able to even out all of the concrete surface in each one of the squares. Sometimes we have to get in there manually like this, so we can just work the concrete a little bit more, get more involved, and it's just easier to maneuver all of the concrete surface. We also scrape the edges like you see right here. He's scraping all of the edges on the existing concrete, removing any of that loose, fresh concrete and putting it into the actual, the newer concrete. And then from there, he's just basically running his float across the surface and then troweling it at the end. So this way you have a nice clean edge, and so when you run the edger tool like you see right here, you know exactly where it is in comparison to the existing concrete or even the forms. So once you have all this, then we're running this 3-inch wide joiner tool in all of the areas. Since this public sidewalk is going to have a smooth joints, but this is the results after we ran everything. We floated, we ran the joiner tool with the smooth edging, and then we're just going to let this dry a little bit more, and it's pretty much ready to go. We're going to be able to run the broom finish, and then after that we're just going to run the smooth edger tool one more time, and then we'll be done. But we're doing 4 of these areas. This is the second one. I'm not going to show you all of them because it's pretty much the same process like you saw from the beginning here. We just pour the concrete, we open up the joints, we float all the edges, we run the edging tool around everything. If there's any low spots, we bring in concrete. Like I mentioned before, we always have a wheelbarrow of extra concrete just in case if we need it. But this is the first area that we poured. Like I said, we waited a little bit, maybe like 30-40 minutes, and now it's ready for the broom finish. So we just use a standard broom tool and we attach it to one of our poles. And from there, you just run it across the surface and glide it from one side to the other. This one doesn't need to be perfect all the way to the other end because we're going to run that joint tool to give us that smooth finish in all of the corners. So you just want to make sure that the broom goes from the one end all the way to the other, preferably in one swipe. So you don't want to like stop halfway or do it like, start and then stop and then a few different times. You just want to try to glide it all the way through so you get a nice, clean, consistent broom finish. And then in the very end, we just run this is a 3-inch wide edger tool, and this will give us a shiny edge. This is how people do it. When you see that, this is mostly done in like the public sidewalk areas around the city, or sometimes it's done as a decorative piece. It has nothing to do with like the integrity of the concrete or nothing. It's more of like aesthetics. But we run this edger tool after we do the broom finish, so that way we have the smooth edges. That's what we call it. So we're pretty much going to do this in all of the areas, and then from there he's going to switch tools to the other one that has the joiner on both sides, like you see right there, and that's just going to speed up the process, and he's going to get all the rest of them that are needed. But he's just gliding that across the surface back and forth until he gets a nice, consistent, smooth joint in all of the areas. But that's pretty much the process of how we pour the concrete, how we work everything, how we finish it. In this case, it's a broom finish with smooth edges, and these are the results. We really hope you like this video. Please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel and activate the notification bell so that way you don't miss out on any future videos that we're going to be uploading. Like I mentioned earlier, this is our last video that we're going to be uploading for the season for a couple reasons. Number one is we're going to be closing the last week of the year and the first week of the new year for the holidays, and also the weather is starting to get pretty bad, and so where we can't really do a lot of concrete work anyways. But in the end, everything turned out very beautifully. We have barricades that we make sure they're always around, and then we're just going to put caution tape. And then we have plastic that we're going to put here. We're going to let the concrete dry a little bit and put plastic over everything so it just protects all the area. I want to thank you for watching and supporting our YouTube channel. May God bless you, and we'll see you in one of the next videos that we'll be uploading.